Welcome to the Find Your Leadership Confidence podcast with Vicki Netling. You are about to discover impactful lessons that help you grow as an individual, grow your confidence, and find the positive and good within you, so you powerfully and authentically become the best version of yourself. Be sure you visit our website at www.findyourleadershipconfidence.com. While you're there, subscribe to us via your favorite network. Now tune in, get ready, and enjoy the journey of emerging as a leader of exception in the 21st century.
Welcome, everyone, to the Find Your Leadership Confidence podcast. I'm your host, Vicki Netling, coming to you, as always, from Roswell, Georgia. Our goal of our podcast is to bring guests and topics to you that will empower you to grow your business and grow your confidence and take it to the next level. Today, my guest is Jasmine Mitchell. And let me tell you about Jasmine. Jasmine Mitchell is a Michigan-based pastry chef. I'm so excited. I love pastries, whose viral desserts are leading at-home bakers to confidently make tasty and beautiful treats. To learn how to bake desserts that are the life of the party, follow her on Instagram, and we'll share that Instagram link with you shortly. Our theme for today is desserts, the happiness factor. Oh, and just to be in time for the holidays, who doesn't want to know more about desserts? Please welcome Jasmine Mitchell. Jasmine.
Hello. Hi. This is so exciting.
So happy to have you. I just love desserts. You know, I love to bake, I love to cook, and I love to eat.
That part.
And so yesterday I made homemade turkey noodle soup with my homemade noodles, and had to take pictures of it to send home to Pittsburgh to my family to let them know what they will have whenever I get home, because that's what I do when I go home. I cook, I bake, I do everything so that my sister-in-law and my mother don't have to do that. But I'm sure that the audience will enjoy what we talk about today and want to get in touch with you, and definitely check out that Instagram site. As always, I start out with a very easy question, and it's just to tell everybody where you live. Where do you call home?
I live in Belleville, Michigan. I'm actually born and raised from Miami, Florida, and moved here.
You went the wrong way, girl.
It was all for love.
I bet you was.
And I'm still getting used to the snow. So let's confirm that right now. It's been 9 years and I'm still getting used to it.
Bless you.
Belleville, Michigan.
I remember the first time that I visited Michigan for work, and it was not winter yet. It was early, like November or something. And there we were going in this remote area to one of the locations, and there were lines on the building. And I said, "What are those lines for?" And the lines were like above the door. And they said, "That's the snow line." I went, Michigan, love you, but never gonna live here.
Yeah. When I moved and realized winter went on for a good 5 months, I immediately, I'm not gonna say I regret it, because I'm here with my husband and family, but I was like, this makes no sense, and I'm just gonna have to ride it out, and I'm still not used to it. So
well, but you do have the ability to leave and visit the warm climates whenever it gets real bad.
And travel. We travel at least like 3 or 4 times a year, so it's always good.
Yeah. And I do like snow sports. It's one of those things. And from Pittsburgh, we had the long winters as well. But, I like to be able to do that snow sport and then leave and not have to worry about, do I have to spend a half an hour more in the morning shoveling snow off my car or the driveway.
That's the worst part. And I just, honestly speaking, side note, I never wear coats, and everybody's always like, why don't you wear coats? I hate the having to take it on, put it off.
In the car.
It's just too much. It's too much. So I blast the heat in the car and then I run out and then I run back in. Like whatever I have to do.
I'll tell you though, now from being in Georgia longer than I was in Pittsburgh, your blood thins and you definitely need that coat.
Right.
All right. Let's get into what the people want to hear. And that is talking about what you do for a living.
Yes.
So tell them about yourself and your journey that took you to become a baker.
So funny story. One day I decided to bake a cake. When I tell you, it just came to my mind. And my aunt gave me a 7-Up cake. I made it. Complete disaster. It was the ugliest cake I've ever seen in my life. We were talking about nailed it. And I'm just the overachiever that I am. I was like, I have to perfect this. It has to be better. It was because when I was decorating it, I poured chocolate on it and it just got hard. And I was like, this isn't like the shows. Like, why is it doing this? And I'm like, okay, I have to figure this out. The cake was delicious though, but the appearance was terrible. And after that, I just started practicing and I did my daughter's first birthday. I did the whole dessert table and my friends and family was like, oh, can I order it? And I was like, this is box cake, right? And they were like, yeah, but I want it. Completely, it started from there. Word got out of just like the creation, the decoration of what it was. And people started paying me for it. And I was like, okay, people are paying me for a hobby. Okay, this may be a good thing now. And then I started venturing into learning like about the ingredients and learning about the cake, because at the beginning it was definitely more so the creative part of it that I liked.
Right.
But once I kind of got that down, you're always learning when you're creating. That's when I got the ingredients in the baking, and now that's, I think, my favorite part, because that's the taste testing part, right?
Absolutely. So to kind of tie this to confidence, leadership, and being, that entrepreneur, to bake, you really, you talked about the creativity that you need, the understanding that you will have trial and error, and you don't stop just because you failed, just because your chocolate was running, you keep going. So that's just like an entrepreneur, you're learning as you go. So you then invest in your education, obviously. And then when you do hit that small win, that one cake or cupcake that looks so awesome, tastes so good, you're so proud that you want to share. And that's just like leadership is, and confidence, and such a great example. So that's why this podcast has Jasmine on, not only to talk about what a wonderful business owner she is, but also to tie it to being a leader.
Yes.
Yes. I bet you didn't expect that when you signed up.
Not at all.
All right. So next question is, what is the commonly held belief about your role and why you passionately disagree with it?
That we make a whole bunch of money.
What, you don't have a wing to your house now for your baking?
No, absolutely not. I'm in my kitchen. And I also work at a commercial kitchen, but it's definitely a passion thing. The road of entrepreneurship, like you were saying, entrepreneurship, you're at the beginning by yourself. And so you're kind of piggybacking, motivating yourself, or your family members are motivating you to keep forward. So you really have to be that leader for yourself, and being that you don't get, it's a lot of hours in it and learning and practicing. It's legit a passion, and then it comes afterwards, right? So the podcast is about leadership and entrepreneurship and, that aspect. And so it's like levels of a cake, right? You have your 3-tier cake and you have the biggest at the bottom, and then right here, and then it gets smaller because you have a whole plate of stuff. And you're like, okay, I have to balance something else on top of me, right? And then something else on top of that. But then when it's all constructed and molded together and organized, it comes something fantastic.
Yeah.
And that's when it, like, you know, baking, like the money has nothing to do with it. Like, I love to joke around. It's we do make money after like learning and getting everything done, but it's definitely like a mindset of the passion and the focus of what you want to do, and how you're going to do it, and organizing yourself.
And the thing too is, like any skill that we have, at a certain point, the student becomes the master. And the master, it's your almost obligation to teach. And
Absolutely.
so, you know, for you, as you get to grow in notoriety, then there are courses and things that you can do to teach others. And that's where you also can have a revenue stream. So
Absolutely.
win-win for you.
Right. I have people ask me about it now, and I'm like, wait, I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet.
Yeah.
I did like a little class here in Michigan, just for my church, and for the youth. And that was fun, but I was like, okay, I'll keep it here until I get comfortable with it, you know, and keep going. But like you said, you know, the master has to come even more, you know, so I'm looking forward to it.
And you also, at a certain point, just like the entrepreneurs, have to realize, oh my goodness, I need a VA. So you will have to at some point say, I have 50 cakes to bake. There's only one of me. I want a life. So I'm going to have to bring on somebody.
Absolutely.
And sometimes
100%.
that's hard, that's hard, because can they make it as good as me? Well, that's where the mastery comes in, and how good of a teacher are you?
Right. Right. And all those things go in your mind. Okay, do I have time to teach them? Can I carve out time? No, I'll just do it myself. No, they're not going fast enough. They're going too fast. They're not having the same passion as me, you know. And we do that in just leadership in general. Like, okay, how can I navigate this? What should I do? How should I do it? And when it comes to baking or just anything entrepreneur leadership in life, you have to organize yourself and have a strategic plan of, okay, like, this is what I want to do, and let's start from priority and work our way down of how we're going to make this execute. So
it is following the recipe. You can't put the icing on before the cake is baked, right?
Yes 100,000%.
See, I told y'all I could tie this together.
You're tying it. I love it. I love it.
Extraordinaire. All right. So when you create these baking videos and they go viral, you know, how do you handle that? I mean, people assume that you've got this whole organization behind you, and it's just one or two of you, you know. And so there is a struggle there, I'm sure, right? So you're, yay, it hit 1 million. Oh God, it hit 1 million.
It's like, oh, listen, when my cake was going viral, I was actually on vacation, and my phone was just going off, but like, you know, I had it on silent, but I could just see it go, boop, boop, boop.
Yes.
Like, what is going on? And I looked at my phone, I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. And my dad was like, what happened? And everybody's like, what's happening? My brothers, my husband. And I'm like, I'm literally at like 400,000, you know, on this. And I'll be honest with you, I just made a video really quick and just posted it. And when you were saying about, you know, social media and stuff, the videos that I took my time on and thought I was making a Cinemark masterpiece have only gotten like a couple likes.
I told you.
And when I was just like, oh, I need to post something today, blah, 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 blah. And it goes and hits like 3 million. And I'm like, are you kidding me? But when it comes to social media, and like you said, right now I am a one-man army. Like I do have like people that come in to help me whenever I need to. But other than that, it's me. You know, I'm the social media manager, I'm the photographer, I'm the videographer, I'm the marketing director, I'm, the sealer, like if it's me. So always organization. I at the beginning, social media, and it's not the beginning, it's still now, and I'm just being very honest and transparent. The more time you spend on social media, the more social media makes you feel that you have to be more than what you are, and make you feel like you're not where you're supposed to be in the moment. And I truly had to realize, like, that didn't define me, that this is my own lane. I know what I'm capable of doing.
Yeah.
I may not be able to post every day, but when I do post, I'm going to do this, So when I actually started learning my business on social media and looking at the statistics of my videos, that's when I said, okay, these are the high videos on this day and this day. Okay, this is when I'm going to check my emails. This is when I'm going to do this. And it made it so much easier because I wasn't bound, just to be honest, to social media or to my customers. Even though I'm big on customer service, I had to create boundaries all around when it came to that. So organization, 100%.
Yeah. So it is, you need to have a plan. Again, go back to that recipe. You have to have that recipe, but you don't have to be perfect, because it will just be more engaging whenever you.
Right.
And people that are learning to bake, if they see that it's perfect and flawless, they'll be less apt to try, because they think, oh God, I couldn't do that. But if oh shoot, I forgot. Well, let me just go get that. Then they think, oh, well, look, she's not, she's human.
And my homemade recipes actually get more traction than my actual art, like the cakes that I actually do. And I did feel some type of way about that. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm like, I spent hours in this pound cake. I just threw it in, put some icing on it, and it went to the roof. And my mom, she was the one who told me, this is because I feel when I look at this, I can do this.
Exactly.
The other
Exactly.
stuff I can't, So I was like, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So now I just do homemade during the week, and then my techno stuff on the weekends, just to have okay, I have variety. So
yeah. Very good plan. See, marketing strategy.
Yes.
All there. What is the difference between baking for events and custom personalized orders, or is there no difference?
They all have the same end result. I love the client's reaction of everything. Because you they know what they're going to get, but they really don't know, because a lot of times it's freelance. So when I get there, I'm anxious, they're anxious, then you come in, you're like, oh my God, it's so pretty. And that right there is the end goal for everything. But when it comes to catered, the menu's kind of set, and you just know okay, here, where with a custom cake, it's okay, I have a baseball theme, and you could do whatever you want. I feel a little more pressured with that, because I'm being my creative self. And sometimes everybody doesn't like your creative self, but because your style, but then I have to get out my head and they wouldn't have called me if they didn't like my creative style, because they researched it and everything like that. But I love the creative part. That's 100% the best thing. So I would say that's the only difference, the creativity aspect of it. But with catering, I love the clean cuts and just the perfection of it all. I'm a little detailed when it comes to stuff. So, it's so technical in my head, but that's how I see it when I create between those two.
So cool. All right. So who should I'm sorry, I can't even get my words out right. Why should a business use video?
how would they know who you are?
I know.
I feel, especially
I think
now.
that's why I was having a hard time with this question, because it's like, well, this is a no-brainer, but go ahead.
Yeah. With social media now, right? Everything is right here in our hand. We want to see it. We want it now. And if you don't have the product in front of you, you don't know what you're gonna get. And it's like those pleasing videos, where like you see somebody cleaning carpet. You're like, I don't know why I'm watching it, but it's so intriguing. I don't know why I'm watching this cake. It's so good. I don't know why I'm watching pimple popping videos. It's so good because it's right there in front of your face. And what that's the marketing strategy, right? You make sure your lighting's right, you make sure everything's good, you use the correct camera angles. So using that as a business, you're selling yourself.
Yeah.
If you don't use it, no one's not going to know you exist. I tried it at the very beginning because I was concentrating on myself, but nobody knew what I had to offer until I offer pictures.
And I know I was telling you earlier that I made some things for whenever I go home to Pittsburgh, and
Yes.
one of the things that my grandmother had taught me, a couple of things she had taught me to make is a nut bread that's called petitsa, and they're Slovenian. And so none of the recipes in books that I could find seemed to be what she had taught me. And I didn't trust myself that I could do it all by memory. So I found a video of this woman from Slovenia who was step by step at her little kitchen stove making this nut bread.
And was it YouTube University?
No, it was just
okay.
out there. But I guess my point is that you really, people today are looking for that. My husband's installing a TV mounting thing, and they're looking at a video to do it. So if you have a product and service and you aren't shooting a video on how to do it, you're doing a disservice to your customers. Or you're just asking for either a bad review or a customer service call.
Yeah. And right now I'm like, I just said to my husband earlier, I'm like, what did we do before Google, right? Because it's always like, just Google it. And then because you're going to have a video right there. And like you said, it's a disservice because you could find anything. And I'm so happy you found that video.
Yeah, I know, because it was perfect. It was perfect. And my cousin makes one as well, but she uses my grandmother's recipe, and again, it's just, okay, do you have all of the things exactly right? And whenever you watch the little things that aren't on a sheet of paper that this older lady did, made all the difference into the quality of it. So what is one tool that always is in your toolbox, no matter what project that you're working on?
My cake scraper, or I have a little mini spatula. Because I quickly learned with traveling with different desserts, or I make little mini dessert cups or cake. Something's always bound to happen, and with that cake scraper, it can go a long way. I just go whoop, and then it's like, okay, we're good, and it makes me even more confident than what I am. Like when I take the cake scraper, always, that's my number one tool.
Yeah. I went through all my up to my 20s without having that. And then when I got married at 21 and was able to buy my own tools, that was one of the first things. My grandmother had the whole Wilton set of things, and I was so envious. So I agree with you. It's a great thing to have.
And some stuff you're like, what was that? How did I do this?
I know, without it.
I even, had this. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. What has fundamentally changed about social media industry from when you started until now?
I would say videos. On my platform, personally, I use Facebook. I mean, not Facebook, sorry, Instagram a lot. but I also do YouTube as well. And like we were talking about earlier, like videos, people want to see how to do it, and
Mhm.
30-second videos can have you have a TV mounted up really quick, right? Or have a cake just by showing the ingredients put together. And I would say videos is the most, because before it was just pictures. You scroll social media, you will see the pictures. You scroll
Yeah.
Facebook, you see the pictures, but now it's all videos everywhere
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah. And the great thing about YouTube is that you could do from start to finish.
Right.
Clearly, you could pause it. That's the great thing too about video
Yes.
is what did they do? Let me go back and look at that again. And with the even with Instagram, you're shortened on what you can post at a time. So you have to
Right.
do the second video, third video. So less annoying, I guess, would be.
Yes. Yes.
Well, it is time now for us to do rapid fire. And rapid fire
Whew.
is just whenever I give questions to you and you can just from whatever comes to your mind. So
Okay. Oh God.
what do you wish everybody understood about the work that you do?
You're on your feet longer than what you think you are. You're on your feet all day.
Yeah,
I
but it's better for your butt.
right, legs of steel. But you're definitely on your feet way longer, and people think, oh, let, I need a cake, something simple, just one stack cake. It's like, okay. And that cake could take 2 hours depending on what it
Yeah,
can be.
decoration. Yeah.
Decorations, everything, and then you put your husband in it and your family and the dog running around. So and you have to pause, so it takes way longer if you're in your house, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So that's it takes way longer than what you think it is.
You just talked about the dog, the husband. My next question is, how do you balance life and work?
I truly love organization. I really do. Um, just to give a quick thing, because I know it's rapid fire, I actually have 3 jobs. I am the church administrator, and I run our 8 block development, and I'm also the baker, right? And I'm a wife, and I'm a mom, and I'm a dog mom, and boundaries and organizing myself. I strategically make a plan for every single day. If I didn't, I would not be able to function.
Yeah.
And when I'm off, I'm like, oh wait, hold on, something's messed up in the system. But I make sure with my cakes, they pick it up on Fridays or Saturdays, because when my kids get out of school, I'm 100% devoted to them, and also my husband when he has his off days.
Nice. I always say there's a 2-letter word, a 3-letter word, and a 4-letter word that you need as a working mom. No, yes, and rest. And
Yes.
the last one we working moms tend to forget. And especially if you're on your feet all the time, rest.
Rest. Yeah, 100%. We always put rest last, right?
Yeah, always, All right. So I don't think you are this, but you have to be on camera. You have to really feature your desserts over you, but you were there. How can you do that if you're a shy person or an introvert?
Ooh, I think it's more so no one's there, right? So you feel like you're talking to yourself, where I'm not an introvert, right? Like I think you could clearly tell I'm not an introvert.
I knew that. That's why I was. But
me,
people are looking at thinking, well, look, she's this extrovert. She's just
right,
like got it all, and I can't do that.
right. And then when I get off camera, I'm like in the corner, right? but when I get on camera, I'm like, oh my God, this is weird. I feel like I'm talking to myself this whole time. But with the introvert, it's nobody's around. You're able to be yourself because you're just recording yourself.
Yeah.
And it kind of, once you get off the camera, it kind of forces you to talk to people, like when they see your stuff, like, oh, hey. So I would say just the same confidence you have in yourself when no one's watching, keep the same confidence when people are watching, because nothing changed. It just the graphics of right of somebody being in front of you change. So the same person you are, just continue to be. Sometimes we could be in our head more than we think, even being an extrovert, but have the same confidence and trust, yourself, and trust that if they're coming and talking to you and engaging with you, it's something about you that they're attracted to and they love. So just keep being yourself.
I always, as I'm teaching folks for public speaking, I say, just put a picture of someone you love or your dog, something that makes you smile, behind that camera, so that you're talking to your dog, but also as a working mom, sometimes we talk to ourselves anyway, so it should be perfpectly normal. It should be fine.
100%.
It should be fine.
100%. And we're no, introverts and extroverts, we talk to ourselves all the time, right?
we do, because I'm the introvert, you're the extrovert, so there you go. Are there any books that you would recommend for those prospering, those people that are just bursting to be the baker that you are?
I love me some Martha Stewart. I love her just because, and this is just a plug, this is not sponsored, anything like that. I like her because I saw a lot in myself. Growing up, I love DIYs. Besides baking, fashion, house improvements and modeling. And those are one of the things that I had to learn about myself. Like, what should I show about myself and how should I navigate that? And I'm like, yo, Martha does everything. Come on, like I can do it too, right? So I would say like a lot of her cookbooks are inspiring because they're easy home cookbooks. Also the Cake Mamas, I follow them on Instagram. Her name is Janelle Copeland. She has her own bakery, which she actually just sold, but she teaches the business side of it, the part that we don't want to talk about, like, the money, what we were talking about with hiring, like, you're one-man army, but you need about 5 other people and navigating through that. So that taught me a lot of things about myself, where I felt like I was in a therapy session just going through her books and her classes. And those were like the 2 that I would say the most. Like in cookbooks, just any cookbooks, honestly. I have a lot, just based on, like, when you first get married, everybody gives you cookbooks and stuff, like your family members. I know mine did. I think they're trying to tell me I couldn't cook or something. I don't know.
They just assume, right?
Right. And I followed those, like different recipes I found, and just followed those.
So for those that are techno, I would give them a Google Home or an Amazon little thing, because you just say, show me a brownie recipe, show me the pavla, show me baklava, and then it gives you all these things, and you could look at pictures, and you can pause it, and so it clears the shelves of the cookbooks. Although I still have cookbooks because I like to touch the paper and turn the pages.
I love still touching it, smelling it, and I'm a visual learner. I have to write it down. Like, it could be right there and I'm reading it and I'm writing it down. So I'm visually looking at it, I'm writing it down, and I'm reading it. And that's how I like intake all my information in. So I love, like, even though everything is technical, yes, I love just having it. And it's like keepsakes that you can pass on.
So you told us about your fail. What was one of your most inspirational bakes?
My first wedding cake. I felt like Mama I made it when it's the wedding cake. Because the wedding is the wedding, right?
Yeah.
Everything has to
important.
be perfect. And for someone to trust me to do their wedding cake, I really felt like, okay, this is next level here.
Nice.
So that was my most inspirational, hands down. My first wedding cake. I'll never forget it.
Awesome. So where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Move over, Martha. No, really. Yes. Somewhere over there. To be honest, this past couple months, just by going viral, which I did not expect, it just kind of opened my eyes of what I'm capable of. You know, like I said, in the beginning, we could be in our heads so much, but just that little thing, you only need that 1 second in your life that changes everything.
Yeah.
And that video inspired me to like not hold back, just give it my all. Don't overthink it, even though I'm still gonna overthink, right? But just do it. Just do it no matter what. And so 5 years from now, I see myself, continually doing, podcasts, also inspiring women and men of what they can become in entrepreneurship, whether it's baking, leadership, just anything in life, because all of it ties in together, like managing. And I've always had a passion for teaching. So I really see myself, just learning more about myself and my career, but also teaching others to get to that. Definitely.
Well, awesome. So we'll have to keep touch on how things are going for sure.
Yes.
All right. It is time now for me to warn those that are just listening to go ahead and grab your pencil paper if you have not already done it, because I'm going to share my screen and give you the contact information. So get that pencil and paper. All right. So our website is www.jcarmels.com, jcarmels.com. And Instagram is the same, jcarmel, singular. That's JCARMEL. I'm going to let her talk to you about her, not really a gift. It is a gift if you go to the site and bake something honestly wonderful. And not invite us to have it, but go ahead, tell them about it. Go ahead and share what you have on Instagram.
So on Instagram, that's my number one platform that I use for my baked goods. I have a collaboration of videos of just showing from point A to Z of baking and just how to get there. Also, I have my technical stuff. I kind of just showboat that. But when you go to my YouTube as well, I have some things on there, but everything is linked on my Instagram that you can go to those pages. Even on my website, all my handles are on there as well.
Perfect.
Everything.
So it has been so fun. We have shared tips. We've taken you from understanding that it isn't just baking, it's tied to leadership, it's tied to confidence, and it's tied to being able to be that person who is a go-getter that says yes and doesn't worry about perfection, just goes and does it to get ahead. It was such a great joy to have you on. Definitely have to do this again.
Having me. Yes, thank you so much.
Been so fun. So as always, I remind everybody to remember that life is a journey and it is up to you to enjoy the ride. This is Vicki Nettling signing off.
Thank Thank you for tuning into the Find Your Leadership Confidence podcast with Vicki Netling, where we share impactful lessons that help you grow as an individual, grow your confidence, and find the positive and good within you so you powerfully and authentically become the best version of yourself. Remember to visit our website at www.findyourleadershipconfidence.com and enjoy even more great episodes like this one. Again, while you're here, subscribe to us via your favorite network. We look forward to seeing you next time on the Find Your Leadership Confidence podcast.